I just kind of cast it as, oh, he's losing his marbles. Had I known, I think I would have handled it better. I think I would have been a much more patient person. I think my father would have felt way less alone.
Have you ever seen a Hollywood golden boy suddenly find himself in the center of a raging controversy? That's exactly what's happening to Ryan Reynolds right now. From Joe Rogan taking direct shots at him, to Marvel itself reportedly considering legal action against one of their biggest stars, this story is twisting in ways no one expected. And the strangest part? It might not even be Ryan's doing. There's a chance his wife Blake Lively and her behind-the-scenes maneuvering played a huge role in setting the stage. Get comfortable, because this saga is about to get wild. The Deadpool rise. It's no secret that Ryan Reynolds practically willed Deadpool into existence. Back when the character was stuck in development limbo, he was the only one fighting to bring the wisecracking anti-hero to the big screen. He even hinted that he, or someone close to him, might have leaked test footage online in 2014, catapulting the film from a stalled project to an instant Marvel success story. Suddenly, Ryan wasn't just another Marvel actor, he was the guy who defied the studio system and proved everyone wrong. That triumph gave him an unprecedented level of creative freedom.
Well, it was harder to acquire a drug addiction in Canada.
Have you tried though? I mean, did you really give it a go? I mean, you got to commit to these things.
No, Hollywood was, my experience would obviously differ from a lot of other people's, but I found it to be a struggle. It's difficult, but it's difficult moving to any city. I didn't have a lot of friends or anything like that, so I immediately tried to immerse myself into that improv community in Los Angeles.
He wasn't just showing up to read lines. He was shaping the script, consulting on casting, and plugging Deadpool everywhere he went. Fans adored it. Marvel appreciated his passion at first, but little did anyone suspect that this same creative control could become a ticking time bomb. But that was only the beginning of the friction. Marvel's growing concerns. Insiders say that while Marvel initially loved Ryan's hands-on approach, because hey, who wouldn't want a star who's as invested as the producers? They soon grew anxious about how much power he actually wielded. It wasn't normal for an MCU actor to have such a strong voice in nearly every aspect of production. Some people at the studio started asking, if Ryan was calling shots on Deadpool 3, how long before other cast members demanded the same treatment? This all happened around the time the MCU was trying to figure out its next big steps in a post-Avengers lineup. Deadpool, known for slicing through the family-friendly veneer with R-rated humor, was already pushing boundaries. Now imagine if an actor kept piling on jokes or subplots that were at odds with the rest of Marvel's carefully constructed narrative. A few people in power reportedly started wondering whether letting Ryan run free in the writer's room might be a bigger risk than they realized. But little did Marvel know, the behind-the-scenes drama was going to get a whole lot messier.
Well, that is also accurate and weirdly high praise as well. It was just one of those. It felt like a live-action Pixar movie. It was something that I wanted to do something where nobody was being stabbed in the face.
Yes.
There was almost no blood at all. I think I got a little paper cut on the movie. That was about it. And something that my kids can watch, but also as a parent, too, you want the parents need to get punched right in the heart as well.
Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni showdown. While Ryan was juggling Deadpool's fate, his wife, Blake Lively, found herself in a totally separate battle on the set of It Ends With Us. Directed by Justin Baldoni and based on a best-selling novel, the project looked like a guaranteed success. Blake was cast as the lead, Baldoni was also starring in it, and fans of the book were hyped. But the production soon hit turbulence. Rumors hinted that Blake felt sidelined by Baldoni, who wasn't just directing, but also co-writing and playing one of the film's main roles. She's known for being meticulous about her characters and wanting a say in everything from costume design to script nuances. When she started pushing for rewrites to give her character a stronger arc, Baldoni, who had his own vision, apparently resisted. This sparked a clash that insiders say turned from small creative disagreements into a full-blown power struggle. Some folks on set claimed it was just two driven people, both trying to protect their art. Others whispered that Blake wanted to overshadow Baldoni and resented him taking center stage. Either way, tensions escalated to the point where Blake supposedly threatened to back away if changes weren't made. But the real bombshell was yet to drop. Leaked texts and the dragon's revelation. Suddenly, text messages began circulating, messages that seemed to come from Blake's side. In them, she allegedly used the term dragons to describe a small circle of powerful allies, including Ryan. Instead of painting Baldoni as the mastermind behind negative stories about her, these leaks suggested Blake might have been the one orchestrating a behind-the-scenes push to control media perception. This turned the entire narrative upside down. For years, Blake's public image was squeaky clean. She was seen as classy and confident, someone who navigated Hollywood with charm and a strategic mind. But if these texts were real, then it looked like she was quietly flexing serious industry clout to tilt the story her way. Then the big question: if Blake was using Ryan's connections to shape media headlines, what other strings could Ryan be pulling at Marvel? That's when one of the world's most influential podcasters decided to join the party. Joe Rogan's criticism and public backlash. Joe Rogan is no stranger to controversy himself, and if he wants to call someone out, you can bet people will tune in. According to the latest chatter, Rogan went after Ryan Reynolds for everything from his Deadpool jokes to allegations of behind-the-scenes manipulation. Now imagine you're Ryan, already under the microscope because of rumored drama at Marvel, only to have one of the biggest voices in podcasting slam you in front of millions.
No, I mean, I always thought I'd end up as in law enforcement, like my family. So I didn't imagine that acting was a way to get out of the house. It wasn't really like a passion when I was a kid. It was something that I was already doing at home, to survive. So
Right.
you kind of, I noticed when I was a kid, making people laugh was a great self-defense mechanism. It really helped me kind of navigate my way through my own home with my older brothers and my dad, and I could diffuse them by making them laugh.
Talk about terrible timing. Suddenly, fans started questioning the perfect couple narrative around Ryan and Blake. Were they just brilliant strategists who'd been pulling levers for years under the radar? Or had the internet turned on them over unverified gossip? Still, the chatter wouldn't die down, and Marvel executives were definitely listening. But the true turning point was yet to come, and it was about to be explosive. The Marvel lawsuit rumor. If you thought feuds over creative control and negative press were enough, think again. Whispers began circulating that Marvel was so concerned about Ryan's recent actions, they considered taking legal steps, something practically unheard of with a marquee star. Allegedly, the studio discovered that Ryan had snuck in jokes targeting Justin Baldoni in Deadpool 3, thinly veiled jabs that Marvel worried might open them to potential lawsuits or sour a valuable industry relationship. Deadpool is known for meta humor and outrageous pokes at Hollywood figures, but the new lines apparently cut a bit too deep, hinting at direct parallels to Baldoni's role as both actor and director. Marvel typically enjoys a good cameo roast, but not when it feels like one of their stars is waging a personal war on the big screen.
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you up bad.
Reports suggest the studio demanded rewrites, leading to a huge rift between Ryan and top Marvel brass. He wanted to keep his comedic barbs. They wanted to maintain the family-friendly brand, with a wink given Deadpool's adult humor, and avoid unnecessary drama. Things escalated so fast, rumor has it, Marvel started drafting a lawsuit to protect the Deadpool franchise and, more importantly, to protect its brand from what they saw as reckless star behavior. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Fallout and industry reactions. News of the potential Marvel lawsuit rocked Hollywood. Ryan Reynolds, once the epitome of comedic, self-deprecating charm, suddenly looked vulnerable. Other studios put his upcoming projects on hold. Producers didn't want to get stuck in the middle of a legal battle between a megastar and one of the most powerful film studios on the planet. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's carefully manicured image took a hit from the leaked texts. For so long, she'd been the savvy, unflappable actress who knew exactly how to manage her brand. Now she was being painted as someone who might play hardball behind closed doors, no different than the Hollywood stereotypes she had always seemed above. Fans of the couple started to question everything. Had Ryan used his influence to keep a close eye on Blake during her film shoot? Did he resent Justin Baldoni so much that he let it spill into Deadpool's script? Or was this all just a case of rumors spiraling out of control, fueled by bitter insiders and a media hungry for scandal? Marvel, on the other hand, faced a tough choice: keep a beloved star who might be going off the rails, or recast one of their most iconic roles to safeguard the MCU's future.
My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very, I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just like, he was Clint Eastwood, less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned about.
When a superstar becomes a liability, studios often decide the brand is bigger than any individual actor. Could we actually see a different face under Deadpool's mask? The thought alone sent shockwaves through the fan community. So where does this leave everything now? What comes next? Right now, the fate of Ryan Reynolds in the Marvel Universe seems to be hanging by a thread. If Marvel really does proceed with legal action, and if the rumored tensions can't be resolved, we might be looking at the end of Ryan's iconic run as Deadpool. That raises huge questions. Who else could possibly fill those red spandex boots? Would fans boycott if the studio tried to recast him? Could a settlement keep Ryan in the MCU, but under tighter creative control? As for Blake Lively, the jury's out on whether the behind-the-scenes drama around It Ends With Us will permanently damage her reputation or simply blow over once the film releases. Hollywood loves a comeback, but it also has a long memory for public feuds. One thing's for sure, the same power that vaulted Ryan and Blake to A-list status seems to be turning against them. What do you think? Is Marvel overreacting, or did Ryan and Blake cross a line? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to stay on top of the never-ending twists in this crazy Hollywood saga, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because judging by how fast this story is evolving, the next shocking update could drop any minute, and you won't want to miss a thing.